Hello and welcome to another Shenanigans. This is Midshipman/slack and today we have a user replay. We have Captain liuhtu sailing in the Myoko, Tier 7 Japanese heavy cruiser. And this is not the first time liuhtu has appeared on my channel. He also appeared in the second round of the ring competition, where I pitched my wits in the Nelson against him in the Nelson, and we had an absolutely hilarious game. A link in the description below and also in the top right hand corner if you so wish. But today it's more to do with the double CV game he has found himself in. So he's up against the Lexington and the Graf Zeppelin, who are on the enemy team, and he's also his own teammates I can't remember what they're sailing actually, to be fair, we'll find out later. And he has been picked on by both the Lexington and the Graf Zeppelin. They've both singled him out for attack. Now that's actually really wise gameplay in terms of teamwork from the enemy side there, because they might as well literally try and take one ship out the game. Ouch. And focus fire rather than necessarily, spreading their love, shall we say, around the team. And it has paid off in dividends. liuhtu here is already down a third of his health. Yeah. And that does link back to one of my other replays from the Naval Alliance about things I learnt. And that's one thing I did learn. And remember, those two enemy aircraft carriers are not in a division. So they're obviously just communicating in chat. So, yeah. This could be entertaining. It could be very, very entertaining. Well, it's going to be entertaining. Otherwise I wouldn't put it up, to be fair. So I'm actually going to cut a bit out, because at this point, liuhtu's western flank just pushed down a little bit. And they didn't actually come across anything for the next couple of minutes, where he finally fires his guns, his beautiful 8-inch high explosive at the Scharnhorst here. And that's probably another reason why the CV rework is a bit not gone down very well. He's already lost a third of his health. He's played for a good 4 minutes now already, and he's only now just been able to get into range of the enemy. But then that's what aircraft are for. But although his side on this eastern flank, I did get the flanks the wrong way round, are pushing fairly well down here, and the enemy are retreating. That Shortness is now out of range. It's a much darker story over on the western flank. And there you can tell it pretty much. First of all, the CVs, the enemies. Oh, a little bit of love bump there. The enemy CVs are focusing that side. Both sets are. Both aircraft carriers are focusing that way. And all of his friendlies have retreated back to the cap circle. Yeah, they've literally abandoned that flank already, even though 0 ships have been lost. Just allowing the enemy to get seriously close. And I think liuhtu has realised that, because he's actually deliberately backing up here. And he's actually going to push right across the map. Oh, there's a Pensacola. Ooh, the joys of Pensacola. Should check out my video on my putting the pen back in the Pensacola. And a contemporary, to be fair, because the Myoko was one of the very first treaty ship which was allowed to be built by the Japanese. Supposedly 10,000 tons and armed with 8-inch guns. And the Pensacola, which is doing Huggy Island at the moment, is the American version of the same treaty ships. And you can certainly tell which ship I'd rather be in, the Japanese Myoko or the Pensacola. The fact that there's 2-tiered differences shows that there's a big difference in size. But that's unfair on the Pensacola, because she did keep to the 10,000 ton treaty limit. But the Myoko here kind of didn't, and came out at 13,000 tons, which doesn't sound too much, but if you think about it, that's the third bigger in weight than the Pensacola. And the British one was also clearly the Exeter. But some good work there. They've pushed him back, and the friendly CV has also tried to get to town on him to actually take him out. And there's the Shornhurst again, backing round, trying to push up yet once again, and finding that, yeah, torpedoes, they do hurt. They do hurt when they hit still. But once again, if you notice, the enemy, the friendlies have really abandoned that west flank. There's even less of them there. And now they're starting to lose ships. 3-1. Yeah, not ideal. The best of times. Oh, that was close. The Shornhurst is going ham now. Come on, liuhtu. Get some more fires. You're at 26,000 damage. Doing pretty well. Oh, there's another one. Burn, burn, burn the ring of fire. Doing well. Now he's been spotted, but he's not been targeted, so he's relatively safe. And as he's reversing, you can instantly speed up. Oh, trying to set a fire on the rear as well there. That Shornhurst probably realises that he is done for. And yeah, there's the call that the enemy have taken the lead. And by God, they have 271 points to 556. And they've lost, the liuhtu side have now lost 4 ships. And there's soon to be 2 ships dead on the opposing side. But it all depends on how much damage the Shornhurst can take. Or take out whilst he goes down. And there's those pesky aircraft again. Oh, and he's gone. But did he hit the King George? No, he didn't. So that was a bit of a YOLO run there, which didn't pay off. But knowing the actual problem, and you can tell straight away in the map, the friendly aircraft carriers are desperately trying to keep that Amagi player in the game. He's been isolated. He's up against 2 ships there. Another Shornhurst and a King George. And he's been tapped by aircraft, but the friendly aircraft have dropped support fighters to try and help out, but unfortunately it's not quite enough. But the Shornhurst is low on health, and that'll be the first priority target. They need to sink ships now. They desperately need to sink ships. The enemy are pushing into the cap at the moment, and luck of the Irish there, another fire. That's going to stick, and it is sticking. Oh, just dipped behind that island. And this is not a place where you want to be. You might be a powerful cruiser, and there's the first kill of the kill to liuhtu's name. Slams on the brakes, the opposing salvo misses, and he's going to have to duck behind this island in front of him. Whilst the enemy King George, Richelieu, who was firing the wrong ammo type there, and a Hipper decide to try and push into the cap, and there's only liuhtu back here. I'm talking about causing fires. 3 fires. Oh dear. And unlike the American and American counterpart, the Japanese armed their cruisers with a lot of actual torpedoes, and we're not talking small torpedoes either. We're talking about Type 94, the most powerful, arguably as well best torpedoes in use during the Second World War. Another fire set and defended ribbon, and he's going to have to reset the cap a lot more because his friends are way too far away. Now this is a good news, bad news situation here. Yes, he can keep these guys defended ribbons keep coming up and keep the cap defended. 1 torpedo hit, nice. However, but they are still stopping any sort of points advantage they're receiving. The enemy are going to be increasing their points, and still there's 3 of them, and so it's only a matter of time before the worst may or may not happen. The friendly aircraft carriers are running for the hills, but are sending their planes over as much as possible to reset the cap. So as liuhtu is resetting the cap, the planes are doing the actual damage and trying to sell them. And thankfully, surprisingly too, it's only the King George here that is actually recognising liuhtu as a threat. There's 3 of them there, but only one of them targeting, and that is the King George. Now, I'm not saying that's not a bad matchup, but if these 3 actually focused one ship at a time, then they can easily take liuhtu at the game. Potentially one of the aircraft carriers who are also in range. And the only other support, which is from a Hipper, coming up too. So we've got 2 battleships, 1 cruiser. And thankfully only 1 battleship is actually focusing liuhtu down. And that's that King George. And I bet he's getting a bit annoyed with all those fires. Come on. The Richelieu's dodging torps. Oh, took 2 from the aircraft. Because of that turn, his gun's now facing the wrong way. He has a pop at the opposing Hipper who's coming up. Torpedoes up again. Fire some. The Type 94 torpedoes were a very interesting torpedo because they were run on like a mixture, an oxygen mixture, oxygen and also air, which meant they had phenomenal range, absolutely phenomenal range. Oh, can we get this King George? And he has, and unsurprisingly, he's got the Artemis Award. Richelieu's pulling away. Because he's pulling that way, these are pretty much free shots because his guns are pointing completely the wrong way. There's a Hipper versus Hipper battle here going on over the right hand side. Enemy aircraft are about, but the friendly aircraft are keeping these guys alive by dropping fighter support. That's great work there from them. Both the Saipan and the Graf Zeppelin are doing that. So likewise, the enemy carriers are clearly working together. So are the friendly carriers. And sure enough, because he's done that long turn, these are just free fire. So I was saying about the 93 torpedoes, they were like a gas and air mixture. I think gas and carbon dioxide, I think it was, mixture, which gave them phenomenal range. And also, it didn't actually show a wake. So not only they were the biggest torpedoes, they had the longest range torpedoes, and also they couldn't be spotted by normal means. Oh, took 2 torpedoes from the aircraft carrier there. Come on, they've got to get this guy. He's still focusing down the Hipper though, not liuhtu here. Still not an engagement I like to fix. Another couple of hits. Fires high explosive. If that was AP, that would have been a different story. More torpedoes in the water. Both the Hippers and an aircraft carrier. He ducks. Oh, fire. And he's been gotcha'd by the Graf Zeppelin. But what a play by that Hipper and the aircraft carriers. And now the enemy aircraft carriers are up. They're back in here. We've got Lexington as primary. Popped his defensive AA and also the fighter. But they're going to be focusing at Hipper, who's on far less health. But both the friendly carriers have dropped their fighter consumable to try and protect it. But can it be enough? Unfortunately, it wasn't. And now we're in 3 versus 3 scenario. Wow. And 133,000 points of damage. And there are due to the fact they haven't been gaining any points, they're 100 points behind. This is close. This is seriously, seriously close. They're going to have to sink the cruiser, who is thankfully on low health, and possibly an aircraft carrier. Now, where are those aircraft carriers? Last spotted at the bottom of the map. Are they still there, or have they moved up? If they're still there, it's a loss. You just cannot get there in time and face huge amounts of damage. Are they going to arm? No. That's the Graf Zeppelin torps. The friendly carriers have quite rightly gone for the Myoko, the enemy Myoko, and has taken him out. The Saipan have done that. Here comes Lexington. Oh, has dropped those a bit better than last time round. Can liuhtu miss them? Oh, just missed them. And hello, they've moved up. That was a Lexington. We briefly got spotted there. And this is good news. There's a chance for liuhtu to win this. Torp's in the water. He's going to take one of them. Just about. There's the bombs. They miss. He's shooting an aircraft down like a dozen now. He's up to 15. Shooting another 7 now. Over 20. Come on. Friendly aircraft carriers dropped his fighter consumable to defend it. Can he duck these ones? He's got to duck one of them. Just about. Incoming bombers. They miss. Actually, I think that was a fighter shot down, to be fair. And yes, both the aircraft carriers have pushed up. Wow. Wow. Another Lexington. Oh, it's coming in for a bomber strike. This is going to hurt. If these connect. Oh, dear me. Jeez. Wow. They are literally swarming his position here. Absolutely swarming. It's causing over 550,000 points of aircraft damage. Insane. But they're going to keep coming because they got more and more aeroplanes. And yes, another salvo missed. Here comes the Lexington with the bombers. Can he do much better? Come on. Duck and dive. And there's the Grass Zeppelin in gun range. Charging him down in the cap. He calls it out. Get everybody firing. Oh, jeez, they must miss. Everybody is charging this guy. We've got to get this Graf Zeppelin. There's only a minute and a half left on the clock. The enemy is still ahead by 20 points. Can they do it? Shots out. Come on, liuhtu. Lexington now. Has he taken a little bit more time to aim his torpedoes? We don't know. Can't tell. Yes, he has. That's a much better strike. Unfortunately. Oh, God, another one. The only thing he's going to sink the Graf Zeppelin is torpedoes. It's the only thing he's got that's going to do enough damage. These other long lance, they will do a lot of damage. Secondaries opening up on the from the Graf Zeppelin. That's nothing to worry about. Another fire. Does he repair it? And more torpedoes incoming. Does he take those ones? Yes, he does. There's a Confederate award. Torpedoes out. Come on. Sink this guy. Ah! The torpedoes are out. There's still 2 friendly aircraft carriers in play. But with 34 seconds left, do any of them connect? Yes, one does. Only one, liuhtu. No, that's just not enough. There's the weather award. Saipan is coming in. Torpedoes out. Can these do the damage? 24 seconds remaining. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Over 10 points. Plus, and 15 seconds left. They just pull it back. That was an epic win, liuhtu. Well played, well read, and just excellent. And let's move over to the results screen. And my, what a result. 162,000 points of damage, Witherer, Confederate, lots of burning, but man, what a play at the end. And with all that, over 3,000 base XP. Fantastic. If you've got a replay, send it to me with links in the description below. If not, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.